Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana, this is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are doing a weekly reading to see what is coming your way for the week of September 7th through the 13th. So on September 7th, we do have a full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse. So I think this week is going to be a lot about releasing, letting go, learning how to balance your dreams and how to practically move towards them. I did do a reading for the full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse already, and a lot of that energy was really just about setting boundaries, letting go of distractions in order to go towards what it is that you really want to create for your life. And recognizing, what are the doubts, the fears, the habits, the people, the environments that are keeping you held back. And our reading last week was definitely a lot about someone realizing, there's been a lot of clearing already, but someone really truly realizing, I let go of something that I really cherished, that I really loved, but the thing that's being let go of, it deserves to be free. It deserves to go towards what it's meant to go towards and to be uplifted and supported. And it was definitely like last week's reading was like a lot of regret on one end and then a lot of empowerment on the other end. So I'm interested to see how this week will play out, especially with that eclipse. And as I was shuffling up the cards, like I felt a lot of weight in my shoulders. So I do think there could be a lot of reflecting and it could feel really heavy this week, but that's normal, right? There's an eclipse. There was a lot of releasing last week, and that's going to be continued into this week, I believe, with that eclipse. So let's get into it and let's see what's going on. All right, of course, just take what feels right for you. And if you haven't, check out your September monthly reading, all your major placements, all the readings for the zodiac signs are out. So get into that. Okay, let's talk about it. So we have the Five of Wands, and this is the overall energy with the Chariot, the Three of Wands, the Fool, the Five of Cups, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords, the Devil. Yeah, okay. So there definitely has been a lot of conflict and a lot of disappointment in this week, or, going towards just kind of bringing it into this week as well. Fives are all about major transformation and changes, so I'm not surprised to see these fives here. I think that there has been a lot of disappointment, but it's like I'd rather mourn what was, what could have been, than stay in what this is right now. Because with the Five of Wands, it's just a lot of arguing, a lot of conflict. There's people moving from ego here, and people that just want to be right rather than want to communicate and reach an understanding. And there's not much you can do with that energy, honestly. Okay, with the Ten of Swords and the Devil, could be dealing with a Capricorn here. I definitely feel like the negative energy, the low vibrations, you're not arguing anymore. There could be somebody who really wants to get the best of you and get you, out of your character, but you're like, for what? Like, what am I going to gain out of this? What are you going to gain out of this? Like, what? This is just perpetuating a hamster wheel ride from hell that I've been wanting to get off of. And there's the devil. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it doesn't matter how much this person tries to get to you, tries to reason with you at this point. Like, the damage has been done and you're ready to move on. Okay. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Some of you guys could be moving at this time, maybe even going on a vacation to just kind of clear your head. But like, just look at this. Like, there was a lot of like gray and darkness here, and now there's nothing but sun and light and brightness. So yes, it hurt and it's disappointing, but it's what's best for you. Like, you're moving towards a new chapter where you're feeling more confident, you're feeling protected, you're feeling joyous and optimistic. Even though it was a very hard situation that got you here, you're still winning, you know? And with the Ace of Wands, the Emperor, I really like this because three of these cards have armor on them, right? Just showing that even though this is a difficult path, you have so much protection, so much support physically and spiritually. So it's definitely time for you to open up and embrace this new chapter because there's nothing left for you in the past here. All right, so let's see what's going on. I'm gonna let the cards fly out and do their thing. What can the collective expect for September 7th through September 13th, please and thank you? Let us know. Okay. The Eight of Wands is popping out here. So definitely some traveling could be happening. There could be some communication coming through, like an email or some sort of like call or something like that. But let's see. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Justice, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands. Okay. All right, all right. So yeah, with the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, definitely a lot of the chaos and conflict that's been going on has been impacting you. Definitely, like that's a normal human response to chaos and conflict, is to be like, ugh. Like some of you might have like fight, flight, or freeze, and maybe you're kind of like freezing a little bit, and that's okay. That's normal, right? You got to process it how you need to process it. But Spirit is urging you not to let this chaos or this fighting, this disagreement, the conflict, don't let that make you think that you're doing something wrong, or that this path that you're embarking on, this new chapter, isn't the right thing, because it is. You know, whenever you're wanting to grow and elevate yourself and there's people around you who don't want that for you, or maybe it triggers something in them and they're like, well, I'm not ready to change and grow, so I'm mad at you for that. You know, if that's the case, like just whatever stories they need to tell themselves, let them tell it. Okay, it has nothing to do with you. Don't take on that projection, and know that your perspective of everything is really what's important. You know, like when we have obstacles in our lives, we can either take the lesson or we take the pain. And of course, you know, at first when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to say, you know, oh, I see, this is going to be a great thing for me in my future. You know, you're still a human. You're still going to have a mourning process, the disappointment, the emotions, but don't stay stuck in that, and don't let that response make you think that you're not doing what's right for you, or that you're on the wrong path. Okay. Don't let the chaos keep you stuck, right? Because with Justice, Libra energy, and the Four of Swords, everything's going to work out for you. Everything's going to balance out. The truth will prevail. Honesty, fairness, justice is going to come through. All you need to focus on is taking care of yourself. Okay, you can't force someone to see your side of things. You can't force someone to agree with you or change. We can't control anything except ourselves and how we react. So just pull back, focus on you, do some self care, go on a vacation, go get a massage, you know, whatever makes you feel good, that's what you need to do. And I noticed there's like a stained glass window there. So some of you guys, maybe there's some sort of spiritual kind of outlet you can tap into, whether that's like going to church, going to temple, going to yoga classes, ceremonial, spiritual classes, whatever. Like allow yourself to dive into those other things. Go get a Reiki session, you know, whatever works for you. Because with the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, something is brewing behind the scenes that we're not aware of, right? That's usually how it works, you know? We don't have, you know, crystal balls that tell us everything that's going to come through. And even if we do, sometimes things change. But I do feel like there's a rumble in the jungle. I think it's going to be very positive for you. So that's why you got to be patient and just don't focus on the negative. Focus on yourself. Focus on the positive and what you want to manifest, because some beautiful things are coming through. So I like that. I like that energy. I like that. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of beautiful things to celebrate here. Okay, you're going to be thriving. You're going to be feeling good, tapped into your intuition. Like this is happening for you, not to you. All right, celebrate. Okay, tell me more about the Five of Wands, Eight of Swords. Okay, see there's the Chariot again, Three of Wands, and the Emperor. You could be dealing with a Cancer, an Aries, maybe even a Scorpio with Judgment here. But like you've decided for yourself, like you're going to move on from this. So then move on from it. You know what I mean? Like don't let somebody pull you back in with their negativity. You know, like that's just no need for it. All right, with the Hierophant, Taurus energy, and the Four of Cups, this could involve a marriage or just some sort of long-term commitment, maybe a work environment you've been at for a long time, maybe, you know, the Hierophant also represents like religion and things like that as well. So maybe some of you guys are leaving a certain religion or changing the way you're approaching your belief system, your morals, your values, whatever the case may be. Just know that Obviously you're not being received well, like your truth, your authenticity is not being received well by whoever this is involving. But with the Four of Cups, know that this is a blessing. I don't even think it's in disguise. Well, I mean, it can be really hard to have to fight with someone that you care about or something that you care about, but at the end of the day, if someone is around you, especially if they're married to you or they've been a friend for a long time or someone that you've looked up to, if you honoring your truth or being honest or whatever gets them to argue with you or belittle you or not honor you as much as they normally would have, mm-mm. Like I want to know if somebody is not feeling me. Like I don't want to be around just because it's comfortable. So it's painful, it's hurtful, absolutely, but it is a blessing from the universe because you don't want to stay tied to anything that is not in alignment for you or doesn't honor you or whatever the case may be. Like who wants to spend the rest of their life trying to fight and defend and prove their innocence? Nobody. Okay? So, with that being said, we have the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. The Queen of Swords, I always call her Judge Judy because she's looking at the facts of the situation. She doesn't care. She does not care about that nonsense. She doesn't care about your emotions, your feelings. She cares about what's the facts. Tell me the Carfax. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the approach you're needing here. You're needing to really check yourself, check this other person, whoever needs to be checked, checking all the boxes to say, like, okay, at the end of the day, what are the facts? All right. If the facts are this, then that's that. Like, yes, of course, there's emotions, there's time, there's memories, nostalgia. But at the end of the day, that person didn't care about this. So you can't care about that either. I always tell people you can't care more about someone's potential. You can't care more about a relationship or a friendship than the other person. It can't be unbalanced like that because then when shit hits the fan, you're left there cleaning it all up, and this person is spreading cheeks and blowing it up. Like, what's going on? And that was a crazy analogy, but it came out and we're rocking with it. You know, like this situation has not been fair. And I feel like you have a very big heart. You're very generous, very kind. And that this person or whoever has been using that against you. And now it's time to check that. Mm-mm. All right, so let's talk about the Four of Swords and Justice. So that's like, self care, focusing on yourself. Balance is going to come through here. The truth will prevail. Like honesty, like the universe is on your side because you're moving honestly. Tell me more about the Four of Swords and Justice here. Yeah, see, there has been a lot of disappointment, but it's time for you to go towards new energies where you can fill your cup, where you can nurture and love yourself because you need it now more than ever. It's in these times when we tend to forget about these practices that we dive into that make us feel good, but that's when we need them the most. All right. So I definitely see balance coming through here. I feel like this is between you and your higher self, your feminine and your masculine energy, your emotions and your logic, the mind and the heart. This is a situation that kind of forced you to relook at some things and say, like, okay, I gave way too much here. I was making a lot of excuses and kind of burying my head in the sand. So let me get myself back together. Like, that's what I really feel. I know the Two of Cups does talk about divine partnership, but I feel like since it's clarifying justice and the Four of Swords, it's more about you balancing the different aspects of yourself. And I also feel like you're accepting the situation for what it is, which makes sense with that lunar eclipse, things coming full circle. So I just feel that, you're looking at a situation, you're like, okay, it is what it is. This is what I learned. This is where I could have been better. And this is what I'm going to work on moving forward. So that's great. You learned your lesson, you moved it on. And I like that. Because look, with the world card, this is something that is coming to completion totally. There's no more revisiting it. There's no more, oh, let me go back and see what's going on there. Like you've gotten what you needed to get out of this situation. You've seen everything. You've learned it all, and you're okay with putting a little bow on this and saying, all right, that's how it ended. That sucks. Wasn't expecting it, but it is what it is. We have the Six of Wands, the Page of Cups. So, especially with the Six of Wands, I definitely see you moving forward and just really focusing on yourself, feeling really good. A lot of people surrounding you, supporting you, they're proud of you. So, yeah, like I really do feel like this is something that is helping you more than anything. And there's going to be so much you learn about yourself, so much others see from you that they maybe weren't expecting. But yeah, this is going to be very good for you. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, know that it will be. All right. And with the Page of Cups, some of you guys could really get into new creative endeavors. If you can think about the things you liked to do when you were a child or just in your younger days, like what were those things? And maybe kind of getting back into them again, maybe being a little bit more adventurous. All right. I feel like, there's a blank canvas in front of you. So what do you want to create with it? Start with these fun little activities so that way when it comes to creating a new life for yourself, it doesn't feel so overwhelming. The world's your oyster. I really like that energy. All right, so let's look into the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Something very exciting, it feels like, is coming through here. It's not like coming in all at once, right? The Seven of Pentacles is about patience and, you're planting your seeds now. Let them unfold and grow as they're meant to. But let's see. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. So with the Seven of Swords, the Tower, Scorpio energy, yeah, there was definitely some betrayal that happened in this situation. And of course, that's kind of made you feel stuck and made you feel sad. But know that this was meant to happen. You know what I mean? Like this person was not meant to be around for the long haul, because the Tower talks about things not having a stable foundation. So when you don't have a stable foundation, it's inevitable that things are going to crumble down. Okay, so know that there's nothing you could have done or that this person could have done to fix this or reverse this. You know what I mean? This is just how this lesson was meant to come into your guys' lives. Your souls agreed to do this, and it is what it is. But we have the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups. So yeah, I see you following your heart, going towards your truth. You might really be trying to rush things in the future, and maybe that is what this could be talking about. Like, don't try to rush through this next chapter or to the next chapter, because then it could be an unstable foundation for that next chapter. So just take your time with things and know that they're unfolding as they're meant to, but keep tapping into your truth, your authenticity. Keep going within and seeing what lights you up and what your dreams are made of, so that way you can get clear on what it is that you want to bring in for this next chapter. I just feel like this week is all about you getting to know yourself more and more. It feels like it's all about self-care, rest, restoration, relaxation, all that good stuff. So that's fierce. And with the Ten of Cups, the Sun card, I mean, beautiful Leo energy with the Sun card. There's so much happiness and joy coming for you. And especially if this situation involved a marriage or a long-term commitment, know that everybody's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. There's going to be balance in the home and within yourself and in everyone that's involved. And there's just going to be a lot of optimism and a lot of clarity moving forward. So even though it may be hard right now to, kind of set those boundaries with yourself and not fall back into certain patterns, know that what you're going towards is so much greater and so much more beautiful that it's going to be so worth it. Okay, so trust in that. All right, so we're going to close it out with an oracle message. Just one card, please and thank you. And if this resonated for you, let me know with a like, a comment. Definitely subscribe and share this reading with a friend if you would like. Okay, we have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Absolutely. I think Spirit's saying this to you because I feel like this other person or whoever is telling you a lot of things that could be very triggering or projecting or just kind of sweet nothings to kind of lure you back. But know that this person may not even be true to themselves, may not even be honest with themselves about what they're feeling, why they're doing certain things. So all you can do is honor and respect yourself, honor and respect your truth, and don't expect others to move like you. Okay? Because I do feel like I'm talking to somebody who's very generous, very intuitive, very spiritual. And like you'd give your shirt off your back for somebody. And not to say that you shouldn't do that, you should, but you can't expect it from other people all the time. You know what I mean? So let your kindness come from genuity, not from expectation of others. So that way your expectations aren't let down by others as well. You know? All right, that's where we're going to leave it. I'm feeling good about that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys would like more from me, I do have all of my social media down below in the description box if you'd like to check that out. I also have my website. It is a great place to book personal readings or to book a soul alchemy ceremony. Love that. That's where I specialize in shadow work, so I help turn your past pain or whatever blockage or resistance is happening there, and we turn it into power, into attracting and realizing the gratitude and the lesson in certain things, and kind of letting your nervous system realize it's safe again, which is a very beautiful process. But yeah, that's all I've got for you. Thank you so, so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. And if you want to sign up for my newsletter, great way to get these readings directly to you. And I always pair them with some sort of affirmation, meditation, ritual, something like that. You can sign up for my newsletter on my website and you get a meditation sent to you as soon as you sign up. So check it out. All right. Now I'm done. Okay. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.